Yes, it had to happen. Is one for us. All right, Carl and Brendan here from Games, Brains and Head-Banging Life, gbhblofficial.com for short, and it's reaction time. Taking a look back into the past, into 2024 for me specifically, where this album and this particular artist, well, this artist I've been familiar with for a while. Of course, it is Thy Catafalque, Tamas Katai, the visionary behind the avant-garde project, been around a very, very long time. In fact, this album, which came out in 2024, was Thy Catafalque's 12th album. And kind of was a concept album, so to speak, kind of tied into his past, focusing on his history from his native Hungary. Yeah, I've been fascinated by this artist and this particular band and this project for many years. Several albums have been covered on the website, pretty much since the website's in existence. We've covered this band in some form or another. I've
Yeah.
always enjoyed it. I've always enjoyed the weirdness, the unique elements, the sound of what they produced, what he produced. But they never always rated that highly because it was so avant-garde and so eclectic. It didn't always necessarily mean everything resonated with me until this latest album. I'm gonna try and say it. It's a difficult one, but effectively it's 12. A Gyönyörü Álmok Ezután Jönnek. Yeah, that's the full name of the album. It was released in November by Season of Mist, and I rated it as the second best album 2024. It was in number two in our top lists, basically. So I thought long and hard about what song I would like to cover from this particular record. And a record this size, they're all big, they're all epic, they're all got their own different styles. But I've chosen one that I consider to be one of the most epic of all. It is called Kiraly, which comes right near the end of the album. Not quite at the end, but near the end of the album. It is about an 8 minute long track, so we're going to be checking it out. And it's been a little while since I've replayed this album, so it'd be cool to go back and listen to it. But I know you're familiar with the band, but are you
Uh-huh.
familiar with the album?
Uh, I did listen to the album, but I didn't listen to it for long. And I like before you kind of like jump onto the next thing and the next thing. So,
Yeah.
and because I didn't review it, I didn't obviously spend a significant portion of time with it. I would have probably been
Yep.
reviewing something else at the time, as is the bane of writing reviews, you know.
Such is life in it. Yep.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan. I'm not like not a fan. I think they're very talented and cool and all that sort of stuff. But it is occasionally quirky and proggy and like So for me, like albums can be hit and miss with them. Like I might like a song or two and hate a song or two and that sort of thing. So I don't know. It might be that we start playing this and I go, oh yes, I remember this. I don't from the name of it alone.
Yeah. Okay. Let's get into it then and see if this one wows you or well, no, scares you. I don't know, whatever.
Yeah.
Three, two, one, go. Well, I think they've snipped that badly, and what they've acted. I don't
Mm,
know if you had that as well. Just a couple of seconds. Yeah, that's the rolling into the next one.
right. Yeah. It was like it was about to start again, but there's only 2 seconds
Yeah,
left. I was like,
no, 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 no. That's what that is there. Yeah, yeah. I just want to quickly say before, like, I
hmm
get your opinion that I should have said it before, but I want it repeated now. Devin Townsend is probably the pinnacle of what I would consider a musical genius of someone who just, gets music in a way that others truly don't. But if there's anyone that's next to him or close to him, it is Tamaz Katai. Regardless of whether this music appeals to you or what he does within Thy Catafalque appeals to you. The guy is doing unique things in our world, and this song I think is a great example of that. But I already said that I liked it. What did you
yeah.
think?
Oh, I do like it. I
Mm,
don't really recognize it, but you know, I don't know. Like when you sometimes listen to songs and you're like, do I recognize this song or do I just recognize bits of this because I know the band? Do
yeah,
you know
that's
what I
true.
mean? So
Yeah.
what I found like obviously my first kind of thought I was going to be like, which one of the two songs within this song would you like me to react to? You know, because there's obviously it does feel complete. It feels like a whole thing. I also found it quite entertaining, kind of when the heavier stuff's kind of going on. That I'm looking at that album cover because the album cover kind of makes sense in the first
Yeah.
2.5 minutes of it. You're kind of looking at that, and it's actually kind of quite chill and pretty, and it all sounds very nice and yeah, it's well written, well structured. Everything kind of flows really nice, and it's got layers to it, and you can kind of pick out different instruments and echoes and all that sort of stuff. And then obviously when it transitions into the big kind of bassy heaviness, and
Mm.
that's great. Uh, Weirdly, I guess I find that like once I'm in that, I almost kind of forget like the beginning
The
of
other
the
part
song. Like,
existed.
do you know what I
Yep.
mean? Um, But as a piece overall, it flows really well. The time goes very quickly in it. It's very nice to listen to. I do think like listening to that again, I would be listening to the beginning to wait to get to that drop. Like, do you know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, as much as I enjoy the beginning of it, like, there's nothing like I don't dislike it in any way, shape, or form. I enjoy it. Like, it's almost like enjoying the journey because of the destination, and like when you kind of get to that, like, it's such a kind of black and dark kind of vibe, and the vocals are powerful, and it's very almost like doomy kind of riffs, and it's very cool. There's a lot going on, but there always is.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like for me, this song would be like I was saying, like I can often find with albums where they're hits and misses, and that this would definitely be a hit, and like to the point where I can like I can see myself getting like extreme enjoyment out of playing this to people and them all being kind of like, oh, this is so nice and so chill and everything,
Yeah.
while in my head I'm like, you know eh, wait a minute. But no, it's cool. Like it's a very cool song. It's very it's a song of a person with decades of experience who just like knows what the hell they're doing.
Yeah, what a great choice of words. It is that you shrug and you nod and you go, yeah, that's it. Like it's not for me to fully understand. It's not even for me to fucking analyze. Who am I to be analyzing this person's music in any way, shape, or form? And especially in the choice of words that we use, where we have no nuance, I guess. Well, we do, but to not to the level that this music perhaps deserves.
Mm.
When I wrote the review for it, I tried to pick apart every instrument in it, and I did a pretty good freaking job. So I just want to run some of them down. Obviously, you've got synth, obviously notable, and atmosphere. That's there as well, which gives it a cinematic feel. You've got the dreamy vocals, very sort of haunting female vocals, which are obviously notable. But there is a French horn. That is this. There's the multiple times it appears for the album, but there's a French horn. There's also an obviously prominent sounding cello. There's obviously the heavy twist, which brings in the heavy instruments like guitars and all that. But perhaps the one that really and I had to check to make sure I was right, and I am right on this, 100% right. It's got cor anglais in there as well in that particular track. So it's all about the different instruments as well, which gives it, I think, that overarching, more cinematic, epic feel. For me, it is like I kind of sitting with a smile because I thought, right, we're going to get to like halfway through this, and you're probably panicking in your head, thinking, "Oh my God, he's playing this like pop song again." Like like it's sweet and it's nice, but like
It is.
where you know what I mean?
It is true that like I did like in my head I thought because we've obviously done a couple and then like videos and then the other one was a similar sort of not similar like now but like
Yeah,
a chill vibe. I did think in my head I was like, oh, Carl's in a very fucking chill mood tonight, isn't he?
yeah. But I knew the transition exists and it flows into something else. But one, it's just because like as much as I loved like the chill aspects and the relaxed and the atmosphere of all of that of this track and the album as a whole, this album was a little bit of a return to the blacker side of his music. You know what I mean? There's a lot of a heavier tracks on it. Almost every track, yeah, most tracks have a certain level of heaviness infused in places in different ways. There's stuff that's poppier than what we listen to in that as well, of course, because it is Thy Catafalque, then it's all over the place, as you said, but yeah, it's just that latter part of that track is so spectacular to me. Like it's so spectacular how well that's done because it is. Oh, look at the harsh vocals and the heavy kind of doomier riffs, and you've got that vein of black running through it, but it still doesn't quite sound like black metal. You wouldn't genre place it. You wouldn't go, no, that's this, whatever. You're like, no, it sounds a bit like this and a bit of that and a bit of that because it's almost insulting to try and put this. The term that almost everybody uses, and even I used it in the review, is avant-garde
Mm.
because it's a lazy ass way to just sum it all up and go, there you go. Yeah, everybody knows what that means. That'll do,
Yep,
right?
that means different.
That's literally it, and it'll do. But yeah, I love it. I'm glad you got something out of it.
Yeah, cool.
Oh, that's Coda Curly by Thy Catafalque. You got any thoughts on it? You know what to do? Let us know in the comments. Thank you very much for watching. If you've enjoyed what you've seen, please consider hitting that like and subscribe button. It does help us out. You can find us at gbhbl.com and across all social media platforms. And if you really want to give us a bit of extra support, please consider buying us a cup of coffee over on our coffee page. Thank you.